What is good? I go by Osiris. I'm stuck in the middle. Thanks for joining. Morning coffee. Got the Love America shirt with the heart. Visit middlemaga.com on the Yaz Queen Storytime. This one in Denton, I don't see a problem with. I'm going to ignore any tax implications. This was at a bookstore in Denton, Texas. And I hope there was no city funds that went towards it, but I don't know. Let's ignore that. I want to talk about the cultural impact. And from my principles, I have, so far from what I've seen, I don't know why there's protesters against this. If you don't know, popping up, this is a new phenomenon to me, popping up across the country, where you've got people who label themselves or dress in drag, and they read stories to children. I've never seen anything like that before, but it's a new thing that's been popping up, and it popped up at this bookstore. This is very important here. What did they market this as? We've seen it in the past marketed as drag. Here I'm seeing inside the transgender story time. That's a whole different thing. So that's not something that I'm protesting. It's not for me and my family, but that's irrelevant. I'm just talking about what they're doing. Inside, this is via Taylor Hansen, who's great, got all this inside video. This is helping us culturally. We need to have this discussion. Inside this story time for children, they got a secret camera in there. Children in attendance were gifted trans flags to wave around. I consider this a religion. So any laws that apply to any other religion should apply here. But forget about that. Just, is this okay or not? Is this something worth protesting or not? This is an opportunity, in fact, for those who are against the drag story times to say, oh, you've got people. So that if you can watch this video right now, it's hard to see, but there is a woman drag, not in drag, but transgender reading a book. And she's appropriately dressed. Ain't got no problem with that. So that's the first thing I saw, because there was a whole hubbub with the T group outside, and we'll get to Alex Stein 99 in a second. He eradicated a dude real quick.
Let him go sideways.
I don't want to.
Watch out. All right, Alex, you need to leave.
It was a funny moment, but I'll end with that. But so I didn't see a problem. This is a time to say, hey, you didn't cross the boundaries. I'm not really with that, but you live your life, I'll live my life. I don't know what the protest is for. Taylor says children in attendance were gifted the trans flags to wave around. I was almost immediately removed by armed T group at the request of the owner. Police officers were inside the event as well, helping with security. I don't have a problem with that. That kept the peace. I said it's not for me and my family, but I don't have a problem with this as long as the person reading the book is dressed appropriately, which it looks like they are. I'm going to throw this question out to y'all. Holler at me if you disagree. What's the problem? I'm not asking you if it's for you and your family. Is this something that you would want to have protested? Like, to me, I'm not like France. They protest over anything over there. To me, it's like, if I'm going to protest something, it's got to be for real. Like what's happening in Arizona with Carrie Lake and Katie Hobbs. What's happening overall with the process that we use to choose politicians. What happened with Don Dada in Mar-a-Lago getting raided over what we know completely now admitted by the major news outlets is a complete farce. Those are things I'm looking at protest. Other local issues too, big issues. This now, I understand if they are dressed inappropriately, I'm not protesting it. I don't like it though, but I understand your protest. Here, I don't understand it. Here's another picture. I think she looks great here. What's the protest? She's wearing jeans and a t-shirt. This is another one of the transgender, it looks like, I don't know that for sure, but it looks like it's a I don't know if they were all dressed appropriately, but if you have two of them that are dressed appropriately and then one that's wild, that'd be kind of crazy. So I don't know, let's just use this as an example. I don't know everybody who is reading books. Looks great to me, got capris and a shirt on. Now, the books they're reading are critical gender theory books. Okay, I'm not getting into the religion. I don't believe in critical gender theory, critical race theory. And whatever laws apply to a religion should apply to that. I completely agree. But is this worth protesting, though? I don't see it. It makes you look, to me, intolerant. What are you protesting? This isn't a school. You can't do this stuff at school. So let me make sure it's clear. Denton Bookstore hosts transgender story time during transgender week of awareness. That's not something that it's like you have to go. It's not at a school that there's no, to me, if you do this at a school, then you should allow any religion. I don't care if it's worshiping demons. If you do it at a school, you can't pick and choose religions to have at a school. But this isn't at a school, so I have no problem with it. Let me know what you think. Here's what I'm going to leave you out with. This was funny. So part of what we see here is that this has spawned a business. In my opinion, that's why, well, they probably didn't know how they were going to be dressed inside. So and I don't know if it was marketed as drag. If it was marketed as drag, then I do blame the people who marketed it, because don't market something drag. If you just go look at any definition, I know they're probably trying to change the definition now, but drag means sexualized performance, dressed as, as sensual as possible, for the most part, dancing in sensual ways. That's what drag is. So if they advertised it like that, but Taylor Hanson didn't use the word drag in his tweet. But take a look at this. This is funny here. Alex Stein presses Control-Alt-Delete on a dude. So he's just outside the thing, and there's all the T group people, and there are people with flags, and there's this masked maniac up on his shoulder. Alex Stein is not a violent person, period, that we've seen. We've not seen anything violent out of him. He's a counter-protester, troller, ish poster, and he's just walking outside the bookstore, and this dude with a muzzle on. Alex Stein's pretty tall. I don't know how tall he is, but Elijah Schaefer is like 6'4", and I've seen pictures with him and Elijah Schaefer, and they're pretty, I think they're about the same height. So Alex Stein's a tall dude, and this dude's out, with his muzzle and his chin up, he's barely at his shoulder. Let's take a look at what happens when you press, when your computer is kind of stuck and you press Control-Alt-Delete real quick. There you go. Bye-bye. Alex, you need to leave. What? It's almost like he did like a little Jay-Z. He's like, oh, is there a little dirt? So, what is that? Is that a ladybug? Almost like sometimes you kind of move your elbow, you're like, oh, did I hit something? Or look at Alex turn around like, wait, was there somebody there? The dude just felt like a piece of paper. Then they say, Alex, you gotta leave. I've seen this way too many times. It's just funny. It's just like, he's off screen. But in all seriousness, let me know what you think about the story time. I don't have a problem with it. Do you? I do me. You do you. And we don't have beef. I understand. I completely know what this is about. It had nothing to do with transgenderism. It's got nothing to do with that. It's all about funneling people to the Democratic establishment. I understand that. But if you don't want that, then you've got to find a way to funnel people somewhere else. And I think protesting something where somebody's dressed appropriately in jeans and a t-shirt ain't the way. That's definitely not the way. Tulsi Gabbard released a little clip from, I think her show started, and she has a respectful response to what she thinks is happening. And I think if you push back when it doesn't make sense, then you lose credibility. So visit middlemaga.com. You can sign up to the channel to join. And thanks a lot for all the support and love. I've got a new shirt. Trump is back on Twitter. At least his account is reinstated. I haven't heard that he's tweeted yet. So even though that the midterms were bad, a lot of things came out that weren't so bad. So it's almost like we're going to head into a merry MAGA Christmas. Go get yours. Take care.